For Christmas present. My oldest daughter is here. Bought it, and we had a bunch of old '76 records,
Mm-hmm.
and this fit the bill for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really neat. No, I love old record players, and there's really nothing like the sound of the vinyl, in my opinion.
Yep.
It's not as preserved as a disc or anything.
That's right.
And I just don't think there's anything like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Glenn Miller and what was the trumpet player? Harry James.
Harry James.
Yeah. Of course, we listened to Lawrence Welks all the time on Saturdays here, or Saturdays. It's Saturday. You get him here on Saturdays on Publix.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Do you remember when you guys got a TV, or did you always just have a radio when you were growing up?
Well, we just had radio, and we didn't get a TV until I was married to her.
Oh, really?
I think 1950, I think, was the year that we got our first TV, the black and white TV.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. It was something new, man. It was really evident up.
Yeah, it's just like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
And, a lot of people don't realize that the TV is still brand new.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you think about just, the hundreds and thousands of years, humans have been around, we've only had this for not even 100 years. The technology really is incredible.
That's right.
Well, I can start off by, asking, when and where were you born?
I was born October 11th, 1925 in LaBelle, Missouri, which is over close to Kirksville.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Lumbell?
Labelle, L-A-B-E-L-L-E, two cell, what do you want to say? I'm not educated enough to know.
Oh, that's interesting. And what did you guys do? How was what was your memory of the Great Depression? Growing up in the Great Depression from your perspective. Just was it not as bad in your perspective since you grew up early in that, or was it still pretty severe up in Kirksville?
Well, in 25, it was pretty severe. I learned how to milk cows, not in 25, I'm sorry.
29, when it started?
The market broke in 29, and it was...
Yeah.
I lived on a farm, and my dad and granddad had a dairy farm.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big one, but they had to milk cows to buy groceries. In other words, we milked cows and separated the milk from the cream and stuff, and bottled the milk. And then we had a milk crowd in town that, I remember standing on the side of the old 35, I think it was a Dodge, or it was a Chevy. And you get a bottle of milk. I had a sister in the back seat. She'd hand me a quart or a pint of milk, whatever that was. You deliver it to the door, set it down, and then the people that wanted the milk had an empty bottle for you. And then you go back to the car, and we done that to have money so we could buy like sugar, flour, stuff that you don't get on the farm. We had everything, but salt and pepper and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. And that's how your guys' occupation, farming and milking, and
That's right.
I never realized that. I guess you guys had to survive by selling what you could sell to get stuff you couldn't grow on the farm, sugar and flour.
That's right.
Huh.
That's right.
Wow. What's your memory of Pearl Harbor? Do you remember when that happened? Or
yes, I do. Of course, I wasn't Pearl Harbor, but then I remember it come over the radio, and everybody just stopped. President Roosevelt said that we declared war on Japan, and of course, my folks, their mouths come open because I was not well. And
I think it was December 41 when that happened.
yeah, 41. So I would have been. Let's see, one from 25. That's all right. I guess I was about
16, 17 maybe?
16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because in 43 is when I enlisted in the Navy. So it had been about 16, that's correct.
I gotcha. And did you volunteer or were you drafted in the Army?
I volunteered for the Navy. Enlisted.
Oh, Navy.
Yeah, I was still 17.
No, wow.
Yep.
And where'd you go to boot camp at? Was it still at Chicago that they had for
Green Bay.
Green Bay?
Yep, that was the camp.
Wow.
We went there. I enlisted in the Navy on October the 9th, 1943, and they shipped me right to Chicago to the base, and I was there during rest of October, November, and down to Christmas time was what training I got there. And cold, oh man. Yeah, they put you.
That was cold up there.
They'd call you. You had to be dressed. They'd get you up about 5 o'clock, and you had to be in good clothes, or your uniform, and then you had to go out to I forgot what you call it, like a drill field. You know, it all had,
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah.
And you'd stand there for 30 or 40 minutes before the high-ranking officer come out, and they walk down to inspect you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, you were just doing this, but they still did it. They always said, the chief boatswain, who was your boss there, he say, well, hurry up, there'll be a waiting on us, and here it was 30 or 40 minutes after you get out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you had to practice swimming up there in the
Well, not
Green
in
Bay?
the morning, not then, but during the daytime, you had to know how to swim, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember quite distinctly. I had never had access to a pool or anything when we were kids, because they didn't have anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you went up on the ramp, and you went the height of the ship. I don't know how far it was down, but anyhow, you had life jackets on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think it came my turn. I said, I don't know. I don't know whether I want to do this or not. And the old boatswain just kind of yangled around for a while, a little bit. Next thing I know, boom! They shove you right off the board, right?
Push you off?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, I really learned, because I had never had the experience. We lived on a farm, and when I went to service, I'd never been to town, a city of any kind.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, I had to learn. Well, a lot of it the hard way. If you'd been raised in town, you understood some of the how city went.
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course.
Yep.
Never even been to Kansas City, or is Kirksville further than I'm thinking from
It's
Kansas
over
City?
on the north side or east side. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, is it above Atchison, Kirksville?
No. Oh. No. Well, I should say it's east of Columbia and Springfield.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's still pretty far from Kansas City. Yeah, for some reason I kept thinking it was. Maybe I'm thinking of like Parkville or something.
Remember Moberly,
Moberly?
Missouri?
Yes.
Okay, it would be northeast of there, about probably. Well, I don't know, when I was a kid. Probably 60, 70 miles.
60, 70 miles?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I remember my dad side of the family had some relation at Sedalia, and when we went down there, it was a day. You had to take a day to go, a day to come home.
Mm-hmm. That's my grandma lives in Sedalia. So yeah, we used to go out there all the time.
Yeah.
Sedalia Fairgrounds, that's pretty famous out there.
Very, very famous, yeah.
Wow. What's and after you're done at boot camp, what What was your duty in the Navy?
Well, they took so many sailors from what was in your camp there, and they sent most of them to what we call the 9th District Amphibious Camp, which was in Little Creek, Virginia, close to Norfolk.
Mm-hmm.
And you were there for learning to. Well, we didn't learn too much. We had to. They built a ship there, and you had to learn about guns and stuff like that. We never trained anything on any kind of like 40mm and 50 like that. They had them on the ship and watch and know the duties like you had to watch to stand on the ship so many hours and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, since our ship was you had to drop the front end ramp to unload, and they had simulators that you had you learned how to do stuff on. I know we had a week that I spent in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, I got you.
Waiting on the ship to be built. She was built at Evansville, Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
on the Ohio River.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't know they built ships on the rivers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, when it was finished, we went down the Ohio River into the Mississippi out to the Gulf of Mexico, around the Keys, and back up. Had to come back up to, let's see, what it was in Chesapeake Bay. I don't remember now just what.
That Virginia?
Yeah, I think so. And we waited there until it was ready for us to get loaded up to go across.
The Atlantic.
Yeah. Then they called us. They took the ship out of there and put tank down in the deck or down below decks, and they put what they called an LCVP up on top. It was put on big planks and chained down and everything, so it would capsize if it got loose,
Mm-hmm.
So then we left Newport Road, I guess Rhode Island, and on what was it? About the 1st of April, and we started across the North Atlantic in April, and I tell you, it was cold and rough.
Oh, I believe it.
Took us 17 days to go from the United States to the south end of England. We went to a town that was called Southampton, England.
Southampton, England.
So right on the very end of England, close to going across the channel, see?
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Did you guys were you guys concerned about German U-boats at all, or were they kind
We
of?
went across in a convoy, probably, I don't know, 100 ships. We had destroyers on the outside, and you had all kinds of defensive equipment. We had to, because we was in a convoy of like with oil tankers and stuff like that that didn't move very fast.
Mm-hmm.
So you needed a time or two. We had a submarine, alert at general quarters. But they found they got them. They didn't get a chance to go in and bomb them or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
What was it like in the living on the ships back then? Was it probably any different than it is today, or
Oh yeah.
was it pretty rough in there?
I couldn't tell you what they're more modern. We were like the pioneers of a lot of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, I'm sure that today, well, they don't even have they have an LST, but it's don't even look like the one we was on or anything. And ship's life was you had a bunk and you got your rest. And you had 4-hour shift of duty on guard,
Mm-hmm.
And then they'd come back and mostly they played a little poker and stuff like that, like card games and stuff, because we didn't have any room to speak of. Our ship was probably, how long the football field?
Oh, wow.
Well, the ship was about that long. That's all the bigger it was. And wide, I don't know how I wouldn't have any idea how to remember that, but it wasn't big. We'd like a bobbin cork out there. I mean, it was flat bottom, and you wouldn't, like if you had waves, you went up on the crest of the wave and bang, down you went.
Wow.
That's, like you seen destroyers and battleships, how they're built like this, and they cut to water.
Yes.
Mine was just flat bottom, no keel.
So when you guys came across waves, you felt it?
Oh yes, very much so.
Wow. What was it like in southern England? How much time did you spend there?
Well, I was there from April to April, May, June, I think. Well, we was over there in England only about 60 days they was there for the invasion of Germany, which was June.
Mm-hmm.
And then shortly, I think, must have been shortly after June 6th, why they sent us back to the States.
I see.
Yep.
And what was it like? You said you're involved in Operation D-Day or Operation Normandy. Is that what they also call it?
There for that.
What was that like? And you can talk about what you want on that one. If there are certain details you want to leave out, I mean that's totally up to you.
Yeah, I've got a couple of details back here that I haven't told my family, and I'm not gonna. I will never tell them.
Yeah, I completely understand.
They wouldn't want to hear it anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what we did was we loaded up on the 5th day of June and started out on the channel, the English Channel, and we got just about, I don't know how far we were from Cherbourg or France shores, but we were supposed to be going in that day, and General Eisenhower said, you spend the night here on the channel. I think there were around 5,000 ships.
Wow.
In that little area. They were all kinds, battleships, destroyers, there was supply ships and what have you. Because he said there was something about the weather they had on the beach, but it come about 4 o'clock in the morning on the 6th, and command come over to the speakers and said, they just said, okay, we're getting underway to go for the invasion. So everybody had their part in it. They went go. We were kind of behind, not too far, but they brought some heavy battleships and stuff in there to boom their shore, and then we could have been after them with the troops and stuff, you see, put them on land and stuff.
So you're operating, helping operate landing crafts?
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
see.
what we were. I was on what they call LST 682.
682.
That was my home. And they had small boats that was they carried 37 men.
37 men?
Yeah. And it was on cranes and stuff on the ship, folded up here. And that morning, morning beforehand, we had to go get troops, and I got the small boat with, let's see, had 2 other men, and they were with the crew of this boat. They lowered us in the water, and it said, you rendezvous off of this transport.
Mm-hmm.
You had to find your way where it was, and there was 10 of these LST or LCVPs to the circle, and whenever they on the transfer or troop payload, they'd call you in and see when one was loaded, and got out of the way while the next guy come in and kept just keeping doing that until they got everybody loaded up. It was a little scary. At first, you had to be careful with soldiers were coming down cargo nets to get in the boat,
Mm-hmm.
and if that boat would, the boat, if they got away from the ship a little ways, you could get a man killed. You know, it'd fall right in the water between the
Was
boat
the
and the ship. Yeah.
water pretty rough with the LST
Yeah,
craft?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's why I had two other men that they held the cargo men or on the so that they didn't get out of the boat, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I was what they call a coxswain. I was the boss.
You were the boss?
Yep.
Wow. And you were 18 at the time?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yep.
Huh.
You got loaded up at troop transport, and you were headed for the beach. And they had all kinds of stuff in the way. I mean, the Germans had put barbed wire and barricades and all kinds of stuff, just anything it had out there on the beach. And you had to get in and find a place that you could pull up close enough the men could get out of the boat onto the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And you pulled up as far as you could, because you had to come, then you had to find your way back out there you put the reverse and the boat come down. But when we got to the beach, why there was these two guys, sailors with me, they operated the ramp on front to see that it went down and everything. And then the 37 men I had in there went right out on shore.
Wow.
Listen, and they was firing on you all the time. And the Germans, I don't understand this. The Germans they were on a cliff up here.
Mm-hmm.
And the only other reason that the United States Army we just had so many men that they finally overrun it. But I tell you, people, they just mow you down, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But finally, it's like anything else. They got through and they got up there and got those they were machine gun nests, and they'd throw a hand grenade in there and get blow it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I called the first load in and backed out, and I had to go back to the same transport to get another load because they didn't have enough small boats to get us in there the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 37 more men and went back in there. The second time it was a lot rougher than the first time because all this stuff was, you had to you learned to use your head real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had people say, well, wasn't there signs or something for you? No, I'm sorry.
The Germans didn't put out English signs for us.
No, you learned in that you get stuff and get it washed away the ways, and you could get in and get your troops out of there, and you got out of there. And then I went back to side the transport, and the guy in charge up there said, no, we're through. You can go back to your ship. So I went back to my ship, and they pulled us up on the hoist, and we were home for a while.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Man, I bet you're glad when that was over.
Yeah, it was. I tell you, there was a few times that I didn't know whether I'd be there or not that day, because they was swinging. The boats were coming past you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wow. How many times did you go back and forth to pick up men? Twice?
Twice.
Just twice?
Yep.
Wow. Huh.
But they had a lot of other the same as I was,
Right.
and I don't know how many troop transport they had out there, but put up about 140,000 men on tour that morning.
Wow.
That's a lot of men, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Holy
Gosh.
bad what do you call these people that survey they was to survey the beach and you don't find the place that was the flattest and stuff?
I know what you're talking about,
Okay.
but I can't figure out the name either.
No,
It's a complicated name.
Yeah, right. Anyhow, the higher ups didn't let our pay the lower ranks go in and find out, but there was a lot of like potholes, I'd call them. I lost some of my people that was Army. They went off the end of the ramp and they went down and never come up. They had a 60-pound pack plus over rifle and stuff, and you couldn't get back up.
Gosh. Oh, that's scary.
Yep. It was very scary. Then when I got back to the ship and everything, then the captain took us back to England, and we loaded up there. We loaded up tanks and some troops. One day, like the next day, we was on our way back to the beach with all tanks and what they do. We left. We was one day in England, next day in France. We'd done that for 30 days.
Really? Back and forth?
Yep.
Wow.
And so we finally got enough stuff there and some equipment and supplies that they had got on the land where they could get air service, So they took over some airports and stuff. So that's my plot.
That's pretty cute.
Yeah, that's a high price plot. I don't know, we was in I guess we're not tell it, in a Bible store. We lived in Greeley, Colorado,
Oh, really?
and we was in there for some religious literature. They had these clocks sitting up there, and that went off, and I don't know, it just
Sold you right there.
yeah. Just told her, well, we got to take a clock. It was on sale.
Oh, really?
I went and bought it. It was too high price. Anyhow, the chimes and stuff, why? I like that. Yeah, chimes on the hour, every hour.
Well, I like it when clocks do that because, you lose track of time and get so wrapped up that, you hear that, you're like, oh, okay, I know it's 4 o'clock.
Well, it don't tell you, but like you say, I can sleep at night and probably never hear it. But when it gets about time to get up, I'll hear it. It's usually about 6:30 or something like that.
And then you're up.
I can look at sit here and see if it's getting a little light, And then I know it's time to get up. Yep.
I have that too when I'm asleep. There's all these noises like someone's in the kitchen or someone's using the bathroom. I never hear it, but then 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, I hear it all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, the brain tells you,
Time to get out of bed.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man.
But to finish,
You stayed in England, or between France and England the entire time? Rest of the time in service?
Yeah, during the invasion. And then they sent us back after the invasion. When we come home down around the Azores, that was called it's the roughest sea I was ever on because it had some kind of in the ocean that some waves that twirled around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, it bounced us all around. Then we come on back went through moved through the Panama Canal.
Oh, I see.
And they were sending us to San Diego, and we got to San Diego, and the higher ups said, no, you're going to Burlington, Washington, drop. So I went up there on the ship, and then I don't know if they took me off of that and put me on a troop transport in the Pacific, and I was what's called quartermaster that was navigation.
Mm-hmm.
All I did on that over there was pretty easy duty. I just set clocks. We had 100 four-star captains and Navy on board. It's a scientific ship, and I had a rear admiral. And if the captain was, he was what you call a captain, 4 stripes was a captain. If his clock was just to tick off, he'd call me at the bridge all the time. Oh yeah, and the old admiral had there. You knock on his door. At check time. Come in and have a cup of coffee.
Wow.
Let's see, his name was, what was that?
Don't ask me because I wasn't there.
I know his name, he was Rear Admiral, but he was in charge of, we were on the bikini test, you heard it before they dropped the bomb.
Yeah, the Bikini Atoll or something. Wow.
Yep. And, they seen that the captain said, you stay on the port side, that was the left side of the ship. Don't be over on the right side if you want to be blind. Because they said, well, that bomb affected your eyes. It's terrible, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But so we was all over on this side. It felt like you was on this side, but you could feel the heat and stuff. I dread this nuclear stuff we got today. Japan, they killed, I think 100-some-thousand people.
Yeah.
Just one drop.
Just one drop.
Yep. President Truman gave the orders to drop that, but he saved a lot of lives in the United States because
we wouldn't have had to invade Japan.
Oh yeah.
And that wouldn't have been a lot worse.
That's right. Well, they dug underground so much. They had tunnels and everything. And you talk to boys went to Pacific Day. A lot of times, the only way you could get in there was flamethrower, you know, to burn them out. That's all. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's interesting. You actually were close by a nuclear bomb test.
Yep.
But pretty much just you were facing away from it so it wouldn't blind you, but you'd still feel the heat of the blast.
That's right. They don't have any bombs since that time, you know. It was,
oh, and just think what they're like today. If they were able to make something like that catastrophic then, just think 70 years later what technology they could. It seemed like they blew up the whole Earth with.
Yep, that's right.
But yeah, I've always dreaded that too.
Thing is, people your age, I feel sorry for you because I don't know what this world's going to be like, you know, when you're older.
Yeah,
person,
I know exactly what you mean. Hopefully your generation won't live to see it, but I'm sure mine will, and, you know, it's just...
Yep. Well, I've got a couple kids too. We have a couple step-grandchildren, but I don't know, like my kids are, well, my daughter's a school teacher. She's up in her, lower 60s now. But then she's about the time that she's going to try to enjoy life, you know, in retirement and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That bikini test was a test to see if they dropped the bomb, how big an area is it. And then see they'd anchored ships out there in certain areas that was going to be scrapped anyhow.
Yeah.
And to see how much damage that this bomb did to them and how far it went, you see. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, then we went, I get to go to, when President Truman signed the treaty with Japan Bay in whites, you know, dressed up. Well, I'll tell you, President here, well, you come first class.
Yeah,
Yep.
I bet.
But it was, I never did get to go on shore in Japan. We were on the ship, and when it was over with, after he signed the treaty and all this kind of stuff, why, we went back to the Philippines, Malaya Bay. I'll never forget that.
What was that like over there?
Well, at that time, it was quiet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you had a few snipers, but no battle. It was over with when I got to Pacific. me as far as that was concerned.
Was it pretty beautiful over there?
Yes, it was. Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's nice over there.
Hmm. When did you end your service? Was it later that year or 1946?
No, I was in from 43 to 47.
Oh really?
I got discharged November the 17th, 1947. I remember that real well.
Wow, you're in there 4 years.
Yep, that's what you had to sign up for when you enlisted. It was 4 years.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty
I was
cool.
coming back to San Francisco, what they call Treasure Island. They had a base there. And I was there probably 30 days. And every morning you got out of your boat and stuff and got dressed and run out to see what. They put a list of people that was going to leave to go home that day.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it took a long time for them to get down to your name.
Because transportation was pretty, not as easy back then.
Well, no, but see, I had a S. My last name was Smith, and so at the list, yeah,
Alphabetically?
Yeah. Yeah, I come on a two-prop airplane, first airplane ride. I want to say a B-7 something.
Mm-hmm.
First time we come from Frisco across here to Denver, and that I ended up in St. Louis, Missouri. When I finally, that was close to home.
Oh, I see.
Close as they could give me.
Wow.
Yep. The Rocky Mountains, I'll never forget them. They were a little rough. Those old planes, they didn't.
Just that air altitude very well.
Yeah. Well, they couldn't go up to 30,000, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so you were just kind of pretty close to the top of the peaks of the Rocky Mountains.
Wow.
Yep. It was a trip, first airplane ride and everything. Yep.
Oh, that's really neat. Sounds like quite an experience you had.
Yes, I learned a lot.
Oh man.
Yep.
And it's somehow, a lot of them were same age, 17, 18, 19-year-olds, and 17 to 20-year-olds today.
Yeah.
I think the world still owes them a favor.
Yeah. Well, in our age, it was our forefathers, it was still a lot in there. In other words, if something happened, everybody went together. It was your friend and neighbor, whatever. Like they said, well, out of my class of 25, there were 3 of us boys went enlisted in the service.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow.
Both of them ended up being my brother, or what they were. I was their father-in-law. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow.
I had 2 sisters, and one, my older sister is gone, and her husband. But I have a sister in Illinois, around Macomb, Illinois,
Mm-hmm.
and her husband. They're still living there, but they're a little younger than I am.
I see.
Yep.
They're in a nursing home, or?
No, they're able to stay in their own home. They've been there for 30 years. They're still able to get around and do their own thing.
Wow.
Yep.
There's this guy in Lewisburg. He's 105 years old.
Yeah.
Still lives by himself.
Is that right? Well, we got a guy here that's 105. That.
Really?
Yeah. His name is Ira.
Ira?
Yeah, I don't know what his last name is, but he had a birthday. Yeah, he's 105. He's got a little, little wheels on it, but he pretty well takes care of himself, and his mind is good. You can talk to him and stuff.
Is he down at the very end here?
No, at the end there, you're thinking about Bob Waymar, but he's in his 80s.
I see.
Uh,
Can I use the restroom real quick?
Sure, hope so.
Drank too much water earlier.
The light's on this side. I don't know why they ever put it on this side, right here.
Yeah.
This one?
Yes, sir. So the door's over here.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So it's about time that quarter sports catch. I don't know if I would give this time.
Mm-hmm. something.
Mm-mm. I see it.
You see it now?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I don't see it.
Well, they charities and stuff like from rare people from their home.
I don't see it on that cap.
Huh?
You don't hear it.
Yeah. He got a cap on it.
Just maybe quite a bit.
That's right. Yeah, you know what you're saying. A little bit that came to place.
Okay, almost not good for that.
Well, that needed anything.
I like that sliding door.
Yeah, indeed.
Don't like the slam doors and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
What's that guy's name you're saying? 105 years old?
Yeah.